Good evening and welcome to LawSikho's thorough newspaper analysis for the 13th of July 2023. Now, today we have one editorial article from the Indian Express, as has been doing rounds since yesterday. That is, the GST Council has gone forward with imposing 28% tax on online gaming. So, the editorial article's headline is Uniform 28% tax on online gaming, implications of GST Council's move. Now, for the second and the third segment, we will have the news update and the legal. So, with regards to the imposition of 28% GST, now this article today we are discussing it because the GST Council decided to levy a uniform 28% tax on the full face value for online gaming casinos and horse racing. Now, this uniform levy shall be applicable on the value of chips that is being purchased in casinos or on the full value of the bets that are being placed during horse racing. So, how does the tax work? The GST laws shall be amended firstly to include online gaming and horse racing in Schedule 3 as taxable actionable claims. Now, this raises the question, what is an actionable claim? Now, an actionable claim is defined as goods under Central Goods and Services Tax Act of 2017, or what is known as the Central GST Act or the CGST Act of 2017. Now, at present, so when you go for an online casino or you go for online horse betting, horse race betting, there's something called the platform fees. And up until this disclosure by the GST Council, the companies that hosted online gaming platforms or online betting platforms had to pay 18% GST on the specific platform fees, not the entire value of the bet that was being placed. However, this is now being changed. The central government has stated that it is not trying to attack or injure any particular industry. But given the fact that we were talking about betting or we are talking about a certain moral question here, the tax has been affixed at 28%. So now, after the GST Council's decision, this tax regime is being changed to 28% of the face value of the entire consideration paid. So, if we were to give an example, so let's say X is a person and he bets 100 rupees. Now, out of this 100 rupees, let's say rupees 20 is his platform fees, right? Is not that high, but let's go for a round number. 20 is his platform fees. So previously, the companies had to pay 18% of this 20 rupees as the GST to the government. But now the government will have to pay 28 rupees because GST will be charged on the entirety of the 100 rupees and not just on the platform fees. Now, upon calculation, it comes around 15.6 times of what the companies were already paying. That's the amount of increase due to this GST regime. Now, the question is that upfront, this is a very harsh thing to do for our central government because as it is, online gaming is booming in India. And the decision was taken by the government because they wanted to bring an equity in taxation in both gaming and gambling. Now, this also brings in an equity in taxation between games of skill and games of chance. Now, why this is important? Because the first thing that we know when we talk about betting is that it is an established law that any form of betting which completely depends on game of chance is not allowed in India. It has to have some amount of skill involved in it. Now, imposing 28% on the face value of the entire bet or the value of chips hurts the companies that had spent years lobbying to create a distinction between the two. That is the game of skill and the game of chance. As it is, online gaming has multiple highly profitable companies. It is a very, very lucrative sector. The revenue of Indian mobile gaming further is estimated to reach $5 billion by 2025, with a CAGR growth of 38% during 2017 to 2020. Experts have criticized this decision as catastrophic for the industry. Now, with this, we move on to the news updates for the day. Firstly, we have India registers remarkable reduction in poverty, according to the United Nations. Now, the United Nations has said that India has registered a remarkable reduction in poverty, with 41.5 crore people coming out of it in just 15 years. The UN said 25 countries, including India, successfully halved their global multidimensional poverty index values within 15 years, showing that rapid progress is attainable. These 25 countries include Cambodia, China, Congo, Honduras, Indonesia, Morocco, Serbia, Vietnam, besides India. In April, India surpassed China to become the world's most populous nation with 142.86 crore people, according to the UN data. And in light of this population increase and the population density that India has, this news is a ray of hope. Secondly, we have India Bangladesh start bilateral trade in rupees. India and Bangladesh have started bilateral trade in rupees. It was launched at an event jointly organized by the Bangladesh Bank and High Commission of India in Dhaka. Trade settlement through Indian rupee will only apply to export amount from Bangladesh, while the rest of imports from India will be settled in US dollars. From Bangladesh side, trade and transactions with India will be done by its Eastern Bank and Sonali Bank Limited, while from the Indian side, operations will be done by the State Bank of India and ICICI Bank, said Abdul Rauf Talukdar, who happens to be the Governor General of Bangladesh's central bank. Thirdly, we have AFI awarded the Best Member Federation by Asian Athletics Association. Athletics Federation of India, which is better known as AFI, was conferred with the Best Member Federation Award by the Asian Athletics Association in Bangkok. AFI President Adil Sumariwalla received the award during the function hosted by Asian Athletics Association. Next up, we have IIT Kanpur develops AI-enabled suicide drones. Kanpur's Indian Institute of Technology has created an indigenous version of the kamikaze drone, which is a form of a suicide drone. The suicide drone can carry a 6 kg bomb for up to 100 kilometers. Subramaniam Shadrala, who is the assistant professor in the aerospace department of IIT Kanpur, spoke about the drone's creation, saying that the drones are equipped with delayed technology that allows them to avoid radar detection. Next up, we have PM Modi to be awarded the Lokmanya Tilak Award of 2023. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be awarded the prestigious Lokmanya Tilak Award this year. An official announcement in this regard was made by the president of Tilak Smarak Trust, Dr. Deepak Tilak and Rohit Tilak at a press conference in Pune. The award was conferred by the hands of the president of the trust, Dr. Deepak Tilak, on August 1st, the death anniversary of Lokmanya Tilak. For the international news segment of the day, we have Peru declares national emergency due to spike in Guillain-Barre syndrome. Now, amid the surge in cases of a rare neurological disorder, Peru has declared a 90-day national state of emergency. The rare disorder, Guillain-Barre syndrome, has affected over 180 people across the country till now. According to the decree of President Dina Boluarte, some US $3.27 million will be allocated to improving the patient care, reinforcing control on the number of detections, and drafting reports for the population and health personnel. Secondly, we have Myanmar and South China Sea tensions, the top agenda at ASEAN Meet in Indonesia. Myanmar's prolonged civil strife, tensions in the disputed South China Sea, and concern over arms buildups in the region are expected to dominate the agenda when Southeast Asia's top diplomats gather for talks this week in Indonesia. Russian invasion of Ukraine and the US China rivalry will also be under the spotlight as US Secretary of State Antony Blinken, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, and Chinese Foreign Minister Qin Wang participate as dialogue partners of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, foreign ministers in the Indonesian capital, Jakarta. Thirdly, we have England wins under 21 Euro final. The trophy finally came home as England edged Spain 1-0 in the Under 21 European Championship final on Saturday to lift the title for the first time in 39 years thanks to the goal from Curtis Jones in Batumi, Georgia. Lee Carsley's side executed a flawless campaign that did not see them concede a single goal, with five-time winners Spain unable to find the back of the net in the final. Jones broke the stalemate 4 minutes into first half stoppage time, while Cole Palmer's free kick was deflected off his back and into the net. For the legal updates of the day, we have Bar Association undertakes to not obstruct work of Legal Aid Defense Counsel. Supreme Court closes contempt proceedings. The Supreme Court closed the contempt proceedings initiated against the office bearers of the Bharatpur Bar Association Rajasthan, who had allegedly obstructed the work of Legal Aid Defense Counsel appointed by the Legal Services Authority. The association also undertook that there will be no obstruction to persons acting as legal defense counsel in pursuing their profession, and the same was held in the case of Purna Prakash Sharma versus Yashwant Singh Faujdar. Secondly, regularizing service of few employees and not others despite eligibility is violative of Article 14. Now, the Supreme Court in the case of Raman Kumar and others versus the Union of India and others has held that the act of regularizing the services of only some employees and not of other entitled employees is discriminatory and violative of Article 14 of the Constitution of India. The Chief Commissioner of Income Tax has found that 65 employees entitled to the regularization of employment, but only 35 could be regularized, since only 35 posts were available. So this was all for today. For free study materials and TLA PDF slides, please join our Telegram channel, the link of which you can find in the description given below, or you can always scan the barcode that is given on your screen. Don't forget to subscribe our channel on YouTube to stay up to date with the thorough newspaper analysis as it comes out every day. Thank you.